Aloha, everyone, and welcome to Java. Thank you for joining me. It's Monday, October 16th, 2023. And as always, there's quite a bit going on. The markets are really going to be interesting today. We've got the MMRI as our favorite risk indicator, and it is above 310 in the extreme levels. And currently, as I'm doing this, it's rising. So we're going to be watching the two main elements of it are the relative dollar strength as well as the 10-year yield. And I think we should keep a close eye on these today. We'll talk a little bit more about that. So as it is at the moment, most retail investors and a lot of the larger hedge funds are oversold into these markets. So it's creating an opportunity here. We've got the fear trade going on. Volatility index is up. We've got gold prices actually did have a nice rally on Friday as well as oil. And so people are just kind of going into these bonds with this worried about the markets, but they're, as always, they're overreacting. And we got some inflation numbers that are kind of supporting that the Federal Reserve will be looking to make one more rate hike prior to the end of the year. So the next time they meet for their rate decision will be November 1st. So if this does indeed happen and the dollar and the 10-year yield decline, it could cause a relief rally, stocks will go green, and it could potentially cause a squeeze bull trap. Now, this is on the daily, so if this happens and stocks begin to rally in a significant way, do consider stop losses because I think that position will reverse and possibly even by the end of the day. So, also, when I bring up the calendar, there's not much data coming out today. However, there is tomorrow morning prior to market open. So if you are a longer term or a swing trader, just to bring this up so that you can position accordingly prior to market open for these retail sales. So we've got kind of this other story saying beware the new treasury buyers are sparking fear in the world's largest bond market. And of course, that is the US debt market, but I think it's actually the other way around, and that the enormous amounts of credit and the headwinds that we are facing are causing people to change what they're doing, where they're putting their money, basically, to kind of ride this out. But as we said a little bit ago, we could have that short term squeeze in equities. So we've got other stories of the war on hold. EU leaders are going to hold an emergency summit today over the potential fallout from the Israel-Gaza war. So there are more things that have come up. Basically, they're not letting the general news know, but they've come into a few complications, and so they have put the ground assault that they're speaking of on hold. So one of these is that they've still got 170 Norwegian nationals, among others, are still stranded, and they're having difficulties getting them evacuated. So if they come up with something out of this or some type of action, it is a potential market mover. So be aware of that. So onto our actual markets in the retail and trade. Rite Aid, the pharmacy in the United States, is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And this is because of the opioid lawsuits that are coming out regarding Big Pharma. But there's also a few other things that are going on beneath the surface here. But the United States accounts for, I believe it's over 80% of opioid use. So next after that, we've got Russia is now also suspending all seafood imports from Japan, kind of joining in China. So this is all due to them, at least on the surface, releasing the water from the Fukushima from the issue that they had. So this water has been treated. However, there's a larger issue going on with this because both Russia and China not purchasing seafood from Japan. It's one of the larger sections of their GDP that they actually export. And the Bank of Japan has created shocks in the market prior by making movements to either protect their currency or their rates increase or decrease. So floating their rates. So this could have potential market moving a little bit down the road here. So another thing we've got is China. The curbs US is trying to cut down again on the semiconductors and microchips going to China, saying that it is a security issue. Well, China's already sidestepping this with their technology, and they've already created replacements. So this could have an effect on your chips, Nvidia and AMD. However, uh, I don't think in the long run it's going to make much difference with the sanctions. So we've got Hungary building a new partnership with Russia, and this is bringing up the importance again of the alliances that are happening both in the Middle East as well as in the Far East, and all of the between the energy sector resources, because this is the section of the resource and trade war. So Hungary is in deep trouble as far as their energy, and they know it. So they're going to Russia and making alliances independently. So this second story about the EU transit state slapping a tax on Russian gas, it is Bulgaria. And while they don't use it directly, they are the main import that is kind of sidestepping the Nord Stream pipeline, and they supply the Balkan states. So we're going to watch a lot of issues happen because they have just increased the price, and that will kind of have a waterfall effect on other inflationary events. So, on top of that, we've got the construction of a Russian nuclear power plant in Egypt, and they're kind of fast tracking that. So, Russia is really dominating the energy market here, and them building this alliance with Egypt is one other thing that's going to kind of come down the road and be a real headache for America and Western allies. So this winter is going to be a tough one for them. And in the last story that I wanted to bring up today, Ferrari in the United States, they're beginning to take cryptocurrency as payments for their cars. So that could bring up Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency could be a bit of a bull market for them as well if you're in this sector. I think that's positive for the space, and then also will encourage the adoption by the SEC, which will also in turn adopt the ETFs that they're looking to get approved, and that would be positive for the space in general. So if you don't have any cryptocurrency yet, please consider it as a hedge. One more thing that we can take outside of the dollar system. So with that, I wish you all a green trading day, just a wonderful day in general. Thank you for spending it with me. And if you haven't yet, please hit the like on the video. And if you have any comments about this material or anything else, let me know. Let me know what you think about these things. I appreciate that, and I appreciate all of your comments tremendously. So thank you again until I see you next time, my friends. Stay free.